In a quiet suburban neighborhood, there was a family living a stable, peaceful life with solid finances and everything seemingly in order. But within just one short year, everything turned upside down. Money began to disappear without explanation. Illnesses lingered far longer than they should have, and the atmosphere in the home grew heavy, as if something invisible was pressing down on them. When doctors and financial advisors could no longer provide answers, the family decided to invite a Feng Shui expert to take a look at their home. After only a few minutes of observation, he said something that sent chills down everyone's spine. There are objects in this house that are draining your family's wealth. What was truly frightening was that these objects were not strange or rare. In fact, they were common items that most families have in their homes. According to Feng Shui, every item inside a house carries its own type of energy frequency. Some objects that appear harmless can actually generate stagnant energy, a heavy, murky flow that blocks wealth, stops good luck from entering, and leaves people feeling mentally and emotionally exhausted without knowing why. That is why, in today's video, we are going to discover which specific items need to be removed from your home immediately, before they quietly suck away your fortune and cut off the flow of prosperity. But before we begin, take a moment to leave a positive affirmation in the comment section to open up a fresh flow of energy. Something like, "My home is receiving powerful energy and attracting abundance." And do not forget to hit the subscribe button so you can keep following these mysterious Feng Shui stories and learn valuable lessons to help your family live in peace and prosperity. And now, as the door to Feng Shui's hidden secrets slowly opens, let us step deeper and explore the unlucky objects that may be quietly hiding inside your home. Items that seem harmless at first glance, yet silently drain your wealth and slow down the flow of prosperity day by day. Item number 1. Broken electronics that have been left untouched for too long. Broken electronic devices that are kept around the house often carry a silent, heavy presence that is hard to describe. These items were once useful. They connected us to sound, light, and moments of everyday life. But once they stop working, they become frozen points in the space, like reminders of something that ended but was never truly let go. In Feng Shui, non-functioning objects represent blockages in the natural flow of energy. On a deeper level, keeping broken electronics around can subtly trap the mind in states of hesitation, regret, or indecision. Over time, this mental fog can affect clarity in financial decisions and everyday life choices. When a family makes the bold choice to clear out broken electronics, the change is not about luck instantly improving, but rather a very real feeling of relief as the space becomes tidier and more open. The areas that were once cluttered become spacious and clear, allowing the mind to welcome new ideas, fresh opportunities, and a more proactive mindset. Without these useless, stagnant items lying around like punctuation marks of stagnation, the energy in the home begins to flow harmoniously again, and people become more alert and flexible in managing their finances. This is why letting go of an old broken device can mark the beginning of clarity and abundance in daily life. Item number 2. Old bills and debt-related paperwork stuffed in drawers. Old bills, debt notices, account statements, and outdated financial documents often end up stuffed into drawers, tucked inside boxes, or piled behind cabinet doors. Though quiet and lifeless on the surface, these papers carry heavy emotional memories, stress from paying large amounts, the sinking feeling of a shrinking bank balance, or the discomfort of unexpected expenses. These papers are not just records. They are emotional footprints of past financial strain. In Feng Shui, items that store the energy of pressure and lack often generate a murky field of energy, pulling the mind toward anxiety rather than openness. The issue is not the paper itself, but the way even a casual touch can unconsciously drag the mind back to unwanted moments from the past. When a family takes time to review, sort, and remove these outdated papers, the shift may be quiet, but deeply felt. A once crammed drawer suddenly feels lighter, as if a part of the burden has silently lifted. That small, cleared space paves the way for a sense of clarity and order, helping the minds of those who live there break free from lingering financial stress. When the home no longer holds images of past expenses, people naturally become more thoughtful, more capable of prioritizing, and more aware of which opportunities are truly worth pursuing. Item number 3. Clothes that are no longer worn. Clothing that has not been worn for a long time, especially heavy winter garments, often sits quietly in the back of the closet, like forgotten fragments of the past. These clothes carry images of old seasons in life, stressful work days, uncomfortable periods, or emotions that no longer match who we are today. When too many of these old garments pile up, they form a layer of stagnant energy in the living space, subtly encouraging a tired or confined outlook on life, without us even realizing it. In Feng Shui, holding on to objects tied to an older version of yourself can make it difficult for new energy to flow, because change always needs room to breathe and expand. It is not the clothes themselves that hold power, but the procrastination in letting go that weighs down the mind and daily habits. When someone takes the time to go through their wardrobe, touching each item, facing the feelings it brings, and deciding what still belongs and what no longer does, it becomes more than just tidying up. It becomes a way of clearing the mind. The closet becomes more spacious and breathable, and just the sight of a newly organized wardrobe can bring a surprising sense of relief. That sense of clarity spreads to the mind as well, helping you focus on what lies ahead rather than what is already behind. Item number 4. Dead or dying plants. Dead or wilted plants are often left in corners of the home where they go unnoticed, blending into the background. Some people leave them there out of habit, sentiment, or the thought that they are just harmless decorations. But these lifeless plants carry a heavy, somber energy, like a quiet reminder of something that has ended but has not yet been released. In Feng Shui, green plants symbolize growth, vitality, and expansion. So when a dying plant remains inside the home, it introduces a subtle contradiction, a sense of stagnation in a space that should support thriving energy. It is not that the plant itself holds power, but its image of withering unconsciously affects the spirit of the people living there, slowing down the natural flow of energy. When dead plants are removed and replaced with fresh greenery, the change is often more noticeable than expected. A space that once felt dull becomes bright and open again, as if a gentle breath of life has been reintroduced. Even the smallest green leaves bring a sense of hope and forward movement, encouraging a more open mindset. This renewal not only beautifies the space, but also positively influences how people view their work, health, and financial decisions. Item number 5. Half-burned candles. Half-burned candles with sunken centers or melted sides are often left sitting on shelves, tables, or in dusty corners. They create a sense of something incomplete, like an unfinished story or a thought that was left hanging. Candlelight usually represents warmth, connection, and a spirit that moves forward. But when left half-used and forgotten, that image becomes a memory of a moment that has already faded. In Feng Shui, objects that exist in a halfway state tend to generate mental delays, making it hard for people to stay focused on long-term goals or feel motivated to improve their financial and personal lives. The issue is not with the candle itself, but with the lingering sense of incompletion that quietly influences your mindset. When old candles are removed and replaced with new ones, even this small change can refresh the atmosphere of the entire room. A full unburned candle with a steady flame offers a sense of comfort and intention, making the home feel more balanced. When people are surrounded by images of wholeness, their thoughts also tend to move toward completeness in how they organize their lives and manage their money. Replacing old candles becomes a soft reminder that every day offers a new chance to start fresh with a clear and focused mind. Item number 6. Old, worn-out shoes. Old, torn, or misshaped shoes are often left near the entrance, right where every step in or out of the house takes place. These shoes carry the shape of past journeys, long workdays, tiring walks, and the wear and tear of daily movement. When they sit there for too long, they create a sense that the path ahead is being weighed down, as if the energy of movement has slowed. In Feng Shui, the entrance is considered the main gateway for energy to enter and circulate through the home. So when tired, worn-out items sit at this crucial spot, they generate a heavy atmosphere, reducing the excitement and openness needed to welcome new experiences. It is not the shoes themselves, but the tired image they project that influences the mood of the household. When old shoes are cleared away and only well-kept pairs are left at the doorway, the space becomes noticeably lighter and more inviting. Each time you step outside or return home, the sense of cleanliness and order helps the mind feel more agile and refreshed. A good pair of shoes symbolizes readiness to move forward, and when the entrance is no longer cluttered with tired reminders of the past, it becomes easier to think clearly, feel energized, and embrace opportunities ahead with confidence. Item number 7. Belongings of someone who has passed away. Items that once belonged to someone who has passed away, or someone who is no longer part of our lives, are sometimes kept as a way to hold on to memories. These might be a shirt, a book, a small gift, or something used in everyday routines. When such objects are left untouched in a drawer or on a shelf, they carry a deeply emotional presence, longing, regret, or a quiet sadness that cannot be named. In Feng Shui, objects that hold layers of emotional memory from the past can make a space feel heavy and weighed down. They often pull our attention back to things that have ended, instead of allowing us to focus on the present and the future. It is not the object itself that creates negative energy, but the emotions attached to it that can keep the mind from moving forward, blocking new energy from entering the space. When someone takes the time, calmly and gently, to look through these items, to decide what to keep in their heart and what to release from their living space, they are undergoing a deep transformation. Choosing to donate, store, or repurpose these objects with care helps free the mind from emotional weight and creates a lighter, clearer atmosphere. Once these heavy reminders are removed, the home feels more open and bright, allowing us to be more present with ourselves and the flow of life around us. Once all these stagnant objects have been cleared away, the home becomes lighter and energy begins to flow more freely. But this is only the first step. To truly stabilize positive energy and allow abundance to grow, The space also needs to be supported by objects that bring brightness and prosperity, things that help anchor and amplify the flow of good fortune. Item number 1 to bring into the home: quartz crystal. Quartz crystal, with its clear structure and the way light refracts inside it, often gives the impression of a quiet stream of energy slowly shifting within the space. When placed in a living environment, it brings a sense of simplicity and calm that few other decorative objects can offer. The sight of a clean, transparent quartz crystal helps the mind feel more centered, as if some invisible clutter has been gently set aside, making room for clarity and focus. On a deeper level, quartz is seen as a symbol of mental clarity. Its transparency evokes honesty, straightforwardness, and the absence of chaos. The presence of quartz in a home can offer a subtle pause in the middle of a busy life. Just one passing glance can bring a sense of stillness in the constant flow of information. It is not due to any mysterious power, but rather the orderly and pure image of the crystal that naturally guides the mind back to a balanced and clear state. What matters most when placing quartz in your home is how it is cared for and the intention behind it. A crystal that is kept clean, placed in a tidy area, and positioned with purpose becomes a focal point of order and mindfulness. Simply touching its cool surface now and then, or watching how light travels through it, can be enough to help reset your state of mind, leading you toward clearer, more sustainable decisions in life. In this way, quartz becomes more than decoration. It becomes a quiet reminder of harmony and focus in every daily choice. Item number 2, the money tree. The money tree, with its thick leaves and gently curved branches, brings the feeling of fresh, vibrant energy into any living space. Its quiet life force speaks softly but clearly, helping soften the room and lift away feelings of stillness or lifelessness. When a healthy green plant is nearby, people often find their pace slowing down just enough to feel more at peace, and just enough to notice that sustainable growth always begins with something small. Looking more deeply, the presence of a plant in your home becomes a living symbol of nourishment and upward growth. Every new leaf and every touch of deeper green is a quiet reminder that growth requires care, consistency, and patience. In modern Feng Shui, a green plant is not thought to bring magical energy, but instead represents the rhythm of healthy expansion. Watching a plant grow day by day helps us relate to that process, opening our hearts, becoming more proactive, and facing forward with confidence. How the money tree is cared for plays a major role in shaping a harmonious space. A pot that is watered regularly, placed where it receives just the right amount of sunlight, and tended to with love, reflects the homeowner's sense of order and attention to detail. When a plant is well cared for, the space around it often seems to glow with life, bringing a fresh energy each time someone enters the room. That is why a thriving plant not only adds beauty to the home, but also inspires a spirit of initiative, helping people make steady, confident decisions in their daily lives. Item number 3, the horseshoe. The horseshoe, with its soft, curved shape, has long been seen as a symbol of protection and stability within the home. When placed in a living space, it acts as a quiet reminder of safety, like a hidden doorway that keeps in the good and helps people feel more at ease in their own surroundings. Its sturdy metal structure brings a sense of strength and the ability to stand firm through life's uncertainties. On a deeper level, the image of a horseshoe represents endurance and steady progress. It once accompanied long, challenging journeys, so its presence in the home carries the quiet energy of inner strength. It reminds us that all success comes from persistence and consistent steps forward. In modern Feng Shui, this is closely tied to building a strong mental foundation, something essential for making wise financial and life decisions. When placed with purpose and kept clean, a horseshoe becomes a symbolic centerpiece, evoking a sense of protection and peace. Seeing such a powerful symbol of resilience every day helps maintain emotional balance and strengthens belief in one's ability to overcome challenges. This creates a sense of stability in the atmosphere, allowing the mind to relax, recognize opportunities, and choose the right direction with clarity. In this way, the horseshoe offers not only aesthetic value, but also meaningful depth in preserving a sense of security within the home. Item number 4. The elephant figurine. The elephant figurine, with its calm posture and kind eyes, brings a unique sense of stability to any living space. Its image often evokes strength, determination, and the quiet power to carry great burdens without losing composure. When placed in the home, it creates a natural feeling of reassurance, like a silent presence of strength that brings harmony and order to the space. On a deeper level, the elephant is seen as a symbol of wisdom and resilience. Though it walks slowly, it always moves forward with purpose, never in a rush, but never standing still. The presence of an elephant figurine in your home subtly reminds you that the most thoughtful decisions are rarely made in haste. Instead, they come from careful observation, deep reflection, and steady, intentional action. This becomes especially important during times when clarity is needed or when choosing a long-term path for your family. When placed in the home with intention, the elephant figurine becomes a powerful symbol of inner strength and quiet focus. Seeing it regularly helps the mind stay calm, reduces stress, and encourages clear thinking. A space with an elephant often feels warm and grounded, providing a stable emotional foundation for wise choices, calm behavior, and a more peaceful rhythm of life. That is why the elephant is not just decoration. It is a lasting symbol of prosperity and deep, enduring peace. When your home is freed from the things that weigh it down, those silent burdens tucked away in corners or hidden behind routine, and instead filled with elements that nurture light, clarity, and positive intention, the entire space begins to shift. The change may come quietly, but it is undeniable. Each small corner begins to breathe. Every object feels like it has purpose again, and every step you take within that space feels lighter, calmer, and more grounded. This renewed simplicity is not just about minimalism. It is about inviting flow back into your environment, allowing energy to move freely and naturally, without resistance or heaviness. A space that is truly cared for does more than bring physical comfort. It gives you emotional and mental clarity. It gently reminds you each day of who you are, what you value, and the direction you wish to move in. It reflects your intentions back to you, helping you stay aligned with your goals and the deeper desires of your heart. From that place of clarity, balance begins to grow, followed by peace of mind, resilience, and prosperity that feels organic, not forced. As order is restored and a proactive mindset starts to shape your environment, your home transforms into more than just a place to live. It becomes a mirror of your inner world. It begins to radiate a distinct lightness, not one that demands attention, but one that is quietly powerful. You can feel it in the stillness between tasks, in the breath you take after a long day, and in the ease with which you now move through your routines. A clear space creates a clear mind. And with that clarity, you begin to see everything more truthfully. What uplifts you, what drains you, and what truly belongs with you on the next chapter of your journey. With each passing day, that sense of calm, strength, and deep-rooted stability begins to grow, like a steady current guiding your life gently but firmly towards something better, something brighter. Day by day, the sense of peace and strength begins to grow, like a steady, quiet current, gently carrying your life in a better direction. Before you go, take a moment to leave a positive affirmation in the comment section. My home is receiving light and abundant energy. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you can keep learning powerful Feng Shui insights that bring harmony to both your space and your life, day by day.